Thanks for clicking on the video, and here on our Mimic, we're going to do a detailed unboxing of Unmatched Brains and Brawn box set. I'm going to get all these miniatures out, show you every single card, and I'll paint up the miniatures myself as well. This set was published in 2023 and is still widely available. In fact, usually at a heavily discounted price. I picked up this copy for 20 bucks. As longtime viewers may know, I like to create game board scenarios mimicking battles that we see in movies or in comic books, and certainly will do so with this set. Spider-Man is quite popular, of course, and he has fought and teamed up with nearly everyone in the multiverse. Later on, I'll post a video featuring a battle between Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, mimicking a famous movie scene, and we'll also have a battle between Spider-Man and She-Hulk, mimicking their first encounter in comic book history. Before we get this game box unsealed, let's appreciate the cover, which of course features Spider-Man, She-Hulk, and Doctor Strange. We also see that this game is rated for 14 plus, for 2 to 3 players, takes approximately half an hour to play, has 3 characters, and 1 battlefield. On the side panels, we see some close-ups of Doctor Strange, the character art, I'm sure, on a card, She-Hulk, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange on the bottom here. On the back of the box, we could see the battlefield. I'm not sure which region it's going to depict. We'll find out in a bit. And of course, there are going to be associated cards. It looks like Doctor Strange will have a sidekick, Wong. That makes sense. We can see some sample character cards here. I'm very curious to see the She-Hulk deck. I wonder if they have cards that break the fourth wall like Deadpool. That'd be very cool to check out. This game typically has great theming, and you can see Spider Sense being implemented right here. Up top, we see photographs of the 3 miniatures within the box. Spider-Man up high, She-Hulk carrying a heavy pillar, and Doctor Strange floating. I like how the sculptors utilize the terrain and not pegs to elevate the characters. That's enough of an overview. Let's get the box out of the shrink. And yeah, there should be a little tear here that I found earlier. Welcome to the channel where we munch on multiple nerdy things, from board games and Dungeons & Dragons, comic books to toys, video games on Saturdays, and gamer snacks on Sundays. We also do monthly giveaways, and this is our giveaway for the month of July. It's a set of Lost World game books published in the 80s. This is how we did first-person shooters before computers even had graphics. I'll put a link down below how you can win this awesome prize. If you're watching this from the future and sorry you missed out, you can click our main channel page for our current giveaway. If you do enjoy the video you're about to watch, hopefully consider hitting that like and subscribe, as well as hype button. It's free to you and helps us out on the channel. Thanks for watching. Shake it off the shrink easily. Always exciting to get a new board game out of the shrink. Let's get the lid off. Nothing printed underneath. On the side panels of the inner box, we see more character art. This one looks spectacular. She-Hulk and Doctor Strange. Inside, we see a little pamphlet showing off the other Marvel characters in the game system. We have all of them except Redemption Row. I don't think we're gonna get this one, but I believe it's heavily discounted now as well, so you never know. On the back here, we can see the miniatures in these sets. Here is the rule book. We'll flip through this very quickly. Take a look at the artwork within. And certainly we have created many how to play tutorials using other sets. We will keep this video more basic as a detailed unboxing and painting of the miniatures. Certainly when we feature these characters in other battles, as I mentioned earlier, we will briefly talk about how to play. All right, so that is a look at the rule book. Here is a cardboard sprue showing our punch-out health dials. We got the Spider-Man one, Doctor Strange and Wong, and She-Hulk. Very cool. Justice is blind. We have some tokens representing some items that we could pick up. Let's flip to the other side here. We can see what those bonuses or benefits are. Okay, we'll construct that later. Here is the map. It looks like we have the Sanctum Sanctorum as our battleground. And on the flip side, it'd probably be the same map, just with the coloration hidden. Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Pretty cool. Certainly a lot of scenes and movies and comic book battles have been had in this area. Okay, so we have a little acrylic token for Wong. It won't be a miniature. The sidekicks are always represented with a little token, but it is acrylic. We'll put it right here. We got pegs to construct our health dials and some more pegs. All right, so before we take a closer look at the miniatures and get them painted, let's take a look at the character decks. We'll start with She-Hulk since she's up top. Let me get this out of the shrink. So thank goodness there's an included strand to pull on. It makes it easier to remove the shrink from these cards. Okay, so here is the back of the card. Here is the character card showing that She-Hulk, of course, will be a melee character. Moves a standard 2. Looks like her special ability is just throw something. At the start of your turn, you may discard a card to deal damage equal to its boost value to a fighter in your zone. So, well, it says it's melee, but when it says in your zone, it almost sounds like it could be a range ability here, right? Looks like she has a whopping health of 20. And her quote is, "Green, gorgeous, gamma-powered bombshell. I know that's what you're thinking." And player 8 here. This is her first card, and at the bottom you can see there will be 3 of these. This is called Lady Justice. During combat, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Increase the value of this card by twice that card's boost value. We have the Defense Rest. So a lot of cards sort of alluding to her legal background. After combat, draw cards equal to the amount of combat damage you took. 2 of those. Cease and desist. Immediately cancel all effects on your opponent's card during combat. If you are attacking, the value of this card is 4 instead. 3 of those. Legalese. After combat, if you won the combat, your opponent chooses whether you both draw a card or both discard a card. If you lost the combat, you make the choice instead. Very interesting. There are 3 of those. We have Nerve Cluster Strike. Immediately, if She-Hulk is adjacent to the opposing fighter, the opposing fighter may not leave their space this turn. There are going to be 3 of these cards. We have the Savage She-Hulk. During combat, you may spend an additional action to make this card's value 9 instead. Wow, that's amazing. 2 of those. Green Energy. After combat, if you won the combat, deal 1 damage to each fighter adjacent to She-Hulk. 3 of these. Sensational She-Hulk. After combat, if you won the combat, you may choose a card from your discard pile and shuffle it into your deck. Always love the artwork in this series. It's pretty fun. There are 3 of those cards. Omega Level Threat. After combat, if you dealt 2 or more combat damage, your opponent discards 2 random cards, 2 of these cards, with a power of 5. We have a scheme card here, Double Jeopardy. Draw 2 cards and recover 2 health, 2 of those. Jennifer Walters. Place She-Hulk in a starting space. Draw 1 card, gain 1 action. So that'll give her some maneuverability there. Left toward. Move She-Hulk up to 4 spaces. She may move through opposing fighters. Then, if she is adjacent to an opposing fighter, gain an action. Wow. There are 2 of those. And that is her entire deck. Wow, very cool. Okay, next we'll check out the Spider-Man deck. Let me get this out of the shrink. We'll pull the tab off here and take out the Spider-Man cards. Here's a look at the back of the cards and his character card. He is also a melee character. Moves 3 though, has a health of 15. Special ability Spidey Sense. When an opponent attacks Spider-Man, before you play a defense card, they must tell you the printed value of their card. Interesting. He has a quote here. It's easy to laugh in the face of danger when you don't take anything too seriously. Okay, his first card is a scheme card here. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Recover 3 health. Place Spider-Man in any space in his zone. 2 of those. Counterattack. After combat, if the value of the opponent's card is 4 or higher, deal 2 damage to the opposing fighter. There are 3 of these cards. Disarming Shot. After combat, draw a number of cards equal to the amount of combat damage dealt to the opposing fighter. 2 of those. Momentous Shift. During combat, if Spider-Man started this turn in a different space, the value of this card is 5 instead. 3 of these. Web Shooters. During combat, Spider-Man cannot take more than 2 combat damage this combat. 3 of these. Right in the face. Immediately, your opponent can't draw cards this turn. 2 of those. Snark. After combat, if Spider-Man is adjacent to the opposing fighter, draw a card. 2 of those. Spider Sense Tingling. After combat, if the value of your opponent's card is 4 or higher, draw 2 cards. 3 of these. Swinging Kick. After combat, move the opposing fighter a number of spaces up to the amount of combat damage dealt. 3 of these, and has an innate 6 damage for attack value. There are 3 of those cards. We have after combat, if you won the combat, place Spider-Man in any space in his zone. There are 3 of these. Wall Crawler. After combat, place Spider-Man in any space in his zone. You figured you could travel faster, like go even in a different zone. But anyways, here's a scheme card with great power. All of Spider-Man attacks this turn are +1. Draw 1 card and gain 1 action. There are 2 of those. And that is the entirety of Spider-Man's deck. Last but not least is Doctor Strange. Let's get this out of the shrink. Pulling the strand loose here. And we should get out the Doctor Strange cards easily. This is the back face of the card. Here is a look at his character card. He has range ability, health of 14, and moves a standard 2. Special ability is Dart Pack. After each combat, if Doctor Strange played a card, you may deal 1 damage to him. If you do, put that card to the bottom of your deck and draw 1 card. Wong, he's also ranged and has a starting health of 6. His first card is titled Cloak of Levitation. During combat, if Doctor Strange is adjacent to the opposing fighter, ignore the value of your opponent's card. 2 of those. Very cool artwork for Doctor Strange. Faint. Immediately cancel all effects of your opponent's card. 2 of those. Steadfast Disciple. This is for Wong. After combat, if Wong is adjacent to the opposing fighter, deal 1 damage to the opposing fighter and draw a card. 3 of these. Master Kamarja. During combat, if Doctor Strange and Wong are adjacent, this card's value is 4 instead. There are 3 of these. Bolts of Balthrok. During combat, you may blind boost this card. After combat, if you won the combat, gain an action. There are 4 of these. 7 Sons of Cinnabrus. If the value of this card is above 7, ignore its value. During combat, you may blind boost this card up to 2 times. Okay, that's interesting. Power it up or lose it. The Mist Mana Pour. Immediately, wow, the font here is really small. Discard your opponent's card. They reveal cards from their deck until they reveal an attack or versatility card they can play. They play that card and randomly put the rest of the revealed cards in or on the bottom of the deck. So you're changing their actions. There are 3 of those. The Rings Ragador. After combat, if you won the combat, your fighter and each friendly fighter adjacent to them recover health equal to the damage dealt. 3 of these. The Wings Watomb. After combat, your opponent places Doctor Strange in a starting space. Place the opposing fighter in another starting space. All players shuffle their decks. I wonder, well, you shuffle your deck, but I don't think you put your discarded cards back. Anyways, there are 3 of those. Eye of Agamotto. Shuffle your hand into your deck. Draw 5 cards. Gain 1 action. 2 of those. No, really, I'm a doctor. Reveal a card from your hand and put it on top of your deck. Doctor Strange or a friendly fighter adjacent to him recovers health equal to that card's boost value. 2 of those. And that is Doctor Strange deck. Sounds like it's going to be really hard to play. You can see his character cards are quite interesting and diverse. Especially this one here. I think it's going to require a great familiarity with his deck to play him to a high degree. All right, so that is a look at the Doctor Strange deck. Now we'll look at the miniatures. This one here is She-Hulk. And as you may know, they come with a wash. So they look pretty good already. But once again, we'll get this painted up. It has a green base. Here is Spider-Man. And it looks like he's having fun in the air. And this here is Doctor Strange. It looks like he's turned around. I'm looking very cool here. All right, so I'm gonna get these miniatures primed up and painted right now. Here are the miniatures all primed up. Have some initial base coat supplied, and She-Hulk is nearly complete, looking pretty cool. Just gotta apply some washes and bring out some details. I decided to change the color of the pillar that She-Hulk's throwing to better match the map, which has gray flooring and a light stone color of the pillar. The other characters have more base coats, and Spider-Man is coming on nicely. I was wondering how I was gonna put the black detailing on his costume with all those webs that he has, but the sculptor actually put little grooves everywhere, so a nice wash, a black wash, should fill in those gaps nicely and give it a very distinctive look. We have our set of miniatures all complete. Pretty happy with this. I could have probably spent more time and add more details, but for a simple tabletop game, I think this is fine. I have my finished miniatures placed on the game board with the provided plastic bases snapped on. We can see how the sculpt and the sculpture of the bases match the map. We have Doctor Strange on a red carpet library floating on a cloud. We have She-Hulk in a dark room ready to chuck a pillar, and we have Spider-Man in the back ready to swing and punch somebody. So let's put these miniatures back into their associated slots. You can see how this all looks like when it all comes together. We also have all the dials constructed, and they go into the appropriate wells there. This is going to be the Spider-Man dial and the Doctor Strange health dial. There's one for Wong underneath. Very cool. The Wong token goes in the slot here. They always provide very nicely constructed plastic inserts. And all the tokens for the map go in this slot. Okay, so that has been our detailed unboxing and painting of Unmatched, Brains and Brawn. Hopefully you enjoyed this special episode today. Thank you so much for watching and keep on adventuring out there.